Welcome back. So today we'll see about Quinn-McCluskey minimization technique. Okay, so this is one more technique which is used for reducing the Boolean expression into required minimal sum and minimal product. Okay, so already we have seen about Carnot maps, and we have seen 3 and 4 variable Carnot maps as well as 5 variable Carnot map. So while doing so, you have seen that so as the number of variables increases, so putting the cells in the Carnot map and mapping it, so that becomes little tedious. Okay, so it's for that purpose. So there is one more method called as Quinn-McCluskey minimization technique. So this is basically if in the form of algorithms. Okay, so that can be easily processed by the computer. Okay, and whatever the processing speed, so that will be very faster when compared to that of K-maps. So K-map is a manual technique, whereas this Quinn-McCluskey, so that will be using the algorithms. So you can just use this minimization technique, but here we'll be just manually doing how that algorithm takes place internally inside the system. Okay, so that's about the same thing here. So K-maps are effective in simplifying expression with a small number of variables. Okay, so if you have larger number of variables, then an algorithm approach is suitable for implementation on a digital computer when larger number of variables and multiple functions are involved. So Quinn-McCluskey is one of those methods. Term 0, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12 and 13. Okay, so those main terms has to be listed in this particular binary form. Okay, so 0, 2, 3. So this is how we do. So it is a 4 literal. So you have A, B, C, D. So you have to do it in this way. Okay. After doing, so this is the first step, that is listing all the main terms in a binary form. So next, second step. Okay, so second step is arranging the binary number in the increasing number of ones. Okay, so if you just check the first cell, that is 0, so it doesn't have any 1, so just take it as a first grouping. Next you count for number of cells with number of ones as 1, so you get M2 and M8. So next see number of cells with number of ones as 2, so you going to get M3, M6, M10 and M12. So group it as one group. Last will be M7 and 13, so it has number of ones as 3. Okay, and after that just name these groups as index 0, index 1, index 2 and index 3. Any number you can give, naming you can give. So I have just given it as 0, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, after this step, next is you have to pick up each term with index 0 and 1, and next 1 and 2, 0 and 1, next 1 and 2, and then 2 and 3, and you have to check these each cells, okay, or each mean term. Okay, so whether they just differ by 1 bit position. So for example, if you just check here M0 and M2, so you have M0 as 0, 0, 0, 0, M2 as 0, 0, 1 and 0. So if you just check here, so this between M0 and M2, so this corresponding to C, you have a 1 bit change. So what you have to write? So you have to write the combination as 0, 2, okay, and the corresponding binary representation you have to write it as 0, 0, dash and 0. Simultaneously, you have to put a check mark against these two cells, that is M0 and M2. So that's what I have written here. So 0, 2 and 0, 8. 0, 0, 2. Next check 0 and 8. Okay. So again, if you check, there is a 1 bit difference between 0 and 1. So I have written as dash 0, 0, 0, and simultaneously I have put a check mark against M0 and M8. So same way you have to check once, that is index 0 and index 1. So that is done. So next is you have to check index 1 and index 2. That is each term of index 1 with index 2. So first check 2. Okay. So if you just check 2 and 3, so if you see, so there is a bit difference over here. Okay, so if you check M2 and M3, so there is a bit difference in the third cell. Okay, so just write it as 2 and 3. Okay, and just write it as 0 0 1 dash, and again put a cross mark against that or check mark against this. So similarly you check for 2 6 2 10 8 10 8 12. So after that you're going to get this. Next, compare index 2 with index 3, and these are the combination you'll get, that is 3 7 6 7 and 12 13. So this is how you do the third step. Okay, so after arriving to this step, so next is again you have to do the comparison in this cell. Okay, so again I have to do the repeat the steps. So again I have to do the comparison over here. So if you just check this 0 2. Okay, so this is there is a one simple trick to find this. So if you take here 0 0 2, so it is 0 0 dash 0. Again you have to do the comparison of comparing this with this and this with this. Okay, so if you see, check the first term, you have 0 2. Okay, and it has got 0 0 dash 0, and if you see dash is in the third position, so in this cell you just check where you have this dash in the third position. If you check here, it is there. Okay, which is corresponding to 0 8 10. Okay, and if you just check these cells, and after checking that, then you have to see whether it differs by 1 bit position. And here if you see, it is yes, because you have 0 0 dash 0 corresponding to 0 2. 8 10 you have is 1 0 dash 0. Okay, so if you see, this is the only bit which is changing, that is 0 and 1. So you consider that as the mean term 0 to 8 10. Okay, so you're going to get this dash 0 dash 0. Similarly, okay, and by the same time I have to put a check mark over this. And if you just check this, so 0 8 to 2 10 is also same thing, so put a cross mark against that. Okay, next come for 2 3. Okay, so first grouping is over, checking next group, check second with the third. So next is 2 3 and 6 7. Okay, so that is one grouping. Okay, and put a cross mark again 2 3 6 7, and if you can see 2 6 3 7. Okay, so this is the final grouping I have got. So next step is you have to check for okay, so next is listing the prime implicants. Okay, prime implicants are those terms without the tick mark. Okay, so just compare the previous table and you just check whether it has numbers with main terms without tick mark. So after comparing, so we'll get this. Okay, so that is, we see that 8 12 12 13 0 2 8 10 and 2 3 6 7, it doesn't have a tick mark in front of that. So just consider those prime implicants. So you know the binary representation of this. Okay, so 8 12 is 1 dash 0 0. So the corresponding expression will be A C bar D bar. Similarly, you have A B C bar, so you get it as 1 1 0 dash, for that you get this A B C bar, and for dash 0 dash 0 you get B bar D bar, and 0 dash 1 dash you get A bar C. So this is nothing but when you group two cells together, you'll get 3 literals in 4 variable K map. In the same way, if you group 4 cells together, then you get 2 literals in the final expression. So this is how you do it. Okay, so now this is the case if they ask you to find out only the prime implicants, then you can just step the method over here. But in the question they have said you to simplify the expression. So next is list of essential prime implicants. Okay, so that is the reduced prime implicant table. So once you are done with the listing the prime implicants, next is listing the essential prime implicants. Okay, so for this you have to construct a prime implicant table with the mean terms along the horizontal axis and prime implicants along the vertical axis, and you have to place the cross mark below each mean term against each row. Okay, so this is can be done like this. Okay, so this is how we have to do. So you have to list the prime implicants column wise, okay, and mean terms along the row wise. So these are the mean terms which we have. Okay, so write that. So this correspond to 8 and 12. So just put a cross mark array against 8 and 12, and this is 12 and 13. So just put 12 and 13, and next is 0 to 8, 10, and last one will be 2, 3, 6, 7. Once doing this, next you check. Okay, so next you check for the column which has got only one cross mark. So if you just check the first column, it has got one cross mark. Okay, so corresponding row you just put a tick mark. Okay, and the numbers or the cross marks name terms in that particular row also has to be circled. Okay, which means that now this 4 you are grouping as one cells. Okay, so you get it as 0, 2, 8 and 10. You get the expression B bar D bar as one essential prime implicant. Okay, this is nothing but if a number with only one cross mark column, so that indicates it is a essential prime implicant. So just put a cross mark, tick mark. Next you check for the other terms. So you have at M8 and next is M3. Okay, this we'll see later. Next is M3. So M3 also has got one single cross mark. So put a tick mark against that. Okay, against the prime implicant. So next corresponding row you just put a circle. Okay, so you get the expression as A bar and C. Okay, so next M3, M6, M7, even those have single this thing cross marks, but this you have already included on this 2, 3, 6, 7, so don't include that again, so ignore that. So next comes this M10. Okay, so it also got single cross mark, but that is already included in 0 to 8, 10, so don't include that, forget it. So last column, that is M13, also has got one single cross mark. Okay, so that you can just include in the final expression. So you get it as A, B, C bar. So after including all this, so writing it in terms of sum of products, you get the minimal sum as F equal to B bar D bar plus A bar C plus A B C bar. Okay, so this is how you do by using Quinn-McCluskey minimization technique. So if you want to cross verify this, you can just construct the K-map for this mean terms and you can just cross verify it. So you'll get both the cases, you'll get the same answers. Thank you. That's all for today. Thank you so much.